He sleeps between her breasts. As twilight shows how this sweet corrosion begins to be complete. From How We Made a New Art on Old Ground by Evan Boland. I watch with the utmost fear as our son climbs the bars of his crib after the milk is gone and stands up for the baby cam only minutes after my wife laid him in his crib with a bottle and an Ave Maria. We pick him up and place him in his walker. He runs unhindered as if on the surface of the moon. One small step for little man, one giant leap for her weary mind. He scuttles to the kitchen to drum on the trash can, his treasure. He lifts the lid, pulls on its liner, a big bang. We run to see what happened. Dust and rubbish spread all over the floor. My son, the axis of this chaos. As he rolls around this big crunch of eggshells and empty popcorn bags, she walks to him, Mother Earth growing closer to her son. They give up the chase, the revolution. They embrace destruction, each other. Colliding with the inevitable, he sleeps between her breasts. This nebula of heat, his body, a jewel no longer traveling through light and dark and light again. Her body renewed, as when they were one source, a single glimmer in space. My son is starting to recognize faces and mistrust those he doesn't. He can tell the contrast between lights on and off, black and white, but not when I do things for him out of love rather than responsibility, or when I do what I don't want to and do it anyway because he is woven to my bones tighter than sinew. He hasn't learned to tell time yet, and I've forgotten everything I knew about it. It is suspended, no longer a thing I can spend or waste or use wisely or otherwise. It is divided into the time I'm with him and the time that I am not. The moments when I get to be his dad and when I'm just any other man. His hazel eyes stare at me as if he knew who I was or where I've been or how many scores it took for me to be here with him. They try to dissect the cipher of nonsense dispelled from wry lips that smell of stale green tea, metallic and forgotten, asking questions more mysterious than his life, when a syndrome could confiscate him at any moment, or his birth with all its miscarriage scares, or his death, unknown yet almost foreseen. His fontanelle billows when he smiles, a water drum pot percussed by an invisible drummer, which at 3 months isn't often. The thin membrane inflates as if his heart was too big for his tiny body, or his soul too wild for this world, were trying to escape out of his strawberry fuzzed crest. They say that a little bit of your soul leaves the body every time you laugh. Thankfully, nothing I've contorted my facial muscles into has made him that happy. His soul is intact, unwasted, one way in, one way out. His chest locks up when his temper shrieks awry. It's all part of a nightly game we play called bedtime, or pin the baby on the crib mattress. A challenge of wits, a race to see who can get to the end of theirs last. It's a lot like chess, a pawn and a king with no black or white squares left in between, each with one move to make, both weak, one dispensable, one defensible. It's still early in the game. It's his move and, without admitting defeat, I'm pretty sure I'm the pawn.